The big
God
thing
bless.
this week, the big garbage this week for sure, is the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. And she's been meeting with Trump people in jail. And
Yeah.
is there a world where Trump doesn't ask to exonerate her? Why wouldn't she do Trump's bidding to get a pardon? And is this not one of the more transparent cover-ups you've ever seen? There's nothing that feels good about that when you take in consideration that Trump is an absolute scam artist and has been convicted as such by the New York State AG, let alone all the bullshit that he's pulled over the years. To not think that he would, and obviously with his, and look, we don't know if he would be tied to anything criminal in the Epstein files, but to be all over them and to be best friends with him for as long as he was, and to like do all the denying that there's lists, now there is a list that he's done even the last couple weeks, like it all just smells like the worst fucking cover up. And it sucks because the ultimate question that both of us, or I want to hear what you think is, does this break MAGA fever? I say no. Nothing can.
It depends. He still has to navigate this well.
And he hasn't done so. True.
He hasn't done so far.
So far.
But if there's a world where they pull it off, where somehow Ghislaine Maxwell gets pardoned and Trump is exonerated by her word, and it's somehow.
But would you trust that at all? Every single.
No, of course
okay.
not.
All right. Me and you wouldn't. Right.
Especially, I mean, right here in your article, she received limited immunity during the meetings with the Deputy Attorney General, which typically is reserved for people who have not yet been convicted of any crimes, because you're trying to build a case. But she's post-conviction. She's 20 years sentence. She's sitting in jail. What would you need limited immunity for to have a conversation with the deputy AG about? That makes no sense to me.
No.
So obviously,
and like
he's fishing. They're trying to feel her vibes for, would you say that Trump did nothing wrong? Would you maybe say, go after people who are our enemies? Like, obviously, Bill Clinton is a name that's bouncing around a lot these days, and there's pretty good evidence for it, but...
Yeah, and people are like, oh, the Democrats didn't release the file, so Trump couldn't be in there in some, like, bad way. It's like... But Ghislaine, going against that is the fact that all of a sudden she talks to this administration, not the last one. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't really buy that line, because if there are people on the Democratic side that get implicated with these files too, I would assume. So it's kind of like a mutually assured destruction sort of deal. You know what I mean? Like, the Democrats wouldn't release it even if Trump is in there, because it implicates probably Bill Clinton among other people that are friendly to or part of the power of the Democrats.
I want to be fair to Bill Clinton and say that he came out today and said release all the files unredacted. Go ahead. Don't care.
Okay, sure. I mean, he did go to that island. That is without doubt.
That is correct. Which is
so
why, again, doesn't mean any of these guys are actually criminally involved in anything. But why wouldn't you just let us see everything? It's like, what did Trump say in 2016? If you plead the fifth, you're saying fuck you. Anyways,
Stephen Hawking went to the island. So if that doesn't make you understand, like, not everybody on that list was.
You don't know, Stephen?
Because to me, I'm fairly certain Stephen Hawking went there because he was trying to solicit donations from... I don't know, it's definitely weird. I still haven't, like, fully read into it, but obviously Stephen Hawking isn't there to do some weird shit on the island. There literally
could have been, like, some science fundraiser that he hosts. Like, these absolute fucking criminals will also do things that are, like, fundraisers for things because they have they're sociopaths and they want to look blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyways, yes.
Well, they're part of a framework of just money and power and rubbing elbows and blah, blah, blah.
Yep. More networking, too.
So, I don't know. I never buy that, like, the Democrats didn't release it, so Trump can't be in there. Like, no, man, I think there's just a lot of people in there. Like, it would burn a lot down. But that's you know, we don't
Listen
know
to
until
this.
we know.
Listen to this from the article too. It just all smells like shit. And anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is just so far up Donald Trump's ass that they need to figure out if they can ever see sunlight again, because it makes no sense. So ABC News chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce asked President Donald Trump on Friday if clemency is on the table for Maxwell. I can't talk about that now. It's like, what the? That's a horrible answer, dude. Just say like, no, it's not on the table. I can't talk about that now because, you know, it's very sensitive interview going on. It's just, he went on to call Blanche a great attorney. I think Blanche lost him his fucking civil case against New York AG or whatever. Or no, he lost him his criminal case in Manhattan. Blanche lost him his. But I certainly can't talk about pardons. It's just like, is there anything more? No. Is there anything more like incriminating in like public relations than the like non-answer to a question? Right. Can't talk about that now. Okay. Right. When can you talk about it?
In this case, it shouldn't be anything but no. Why would clemency even be on the table? That's
what I'm saying. That's why when you were like, oh, I could see a pardon for, if she gets pardoned at all, the same people that beat this drum for years, I'm not letting them off the hook. We're not letting them off the hook. You can't just be a Trumper and just be like, oh, okay, she can be pardoned. It's like, but you're saying that, like, you need maximum punishment for all these people, for all this child stuff, and then, like, we're just going to pardon this one? Okay.
There's a world where they try and sell it where she gets a pardon because she exposes people who, coincidentally, none of them are going to be like part of Trump's orbit. You know what I mean? There's going to be very selective information released here. And I don't know. I guess it's whether or not she's willing to play the game. She's in jail for 20 years. Like, why wouldn't you?
But, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
It sounds like they will. I mean,
it's going to be, it might get wild.
After Trump's comments on Friday about clemency, ABC News asked Maxwell's attorney whether that gave her an incentive to tell Blanche what he wanted to hear. No, Marcus answered, she wants to tell the truth. Why would she want to tell the truth all of a sudden? Like, what? She's got no motivation. She just all of a sudden wants to tell the truth. She didn't want to tell the truth a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Marcus said Maxwell's legal team has not approached Trump about a pardon, but suggested it could happen in the future. It's just like, holy shit, dude. We haven't spoken to the president or anyone about a pardon just yet. And listen, the president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and just way. These motherfuckers are just warming us up, baby, to just smack our ass bare. Smack our ass bare.
Plant the seed. How is it received?
Oh, yeah, dude.
What does MAGA have to say about it?
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's...
I didn't even have it on the...
I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
And to be fair, this is what I thought was going to happen from the get-go. I thought that if anything came out about Epstein, it was going to be heavily redacted in a way that only implicates the people that Trump doesn't give a fuck about. And then everybody else who he cares about, including himself, are going to either be blacked out of the file or just disappeared from the file. I've always thought that that's how it was going to go down. It's weird that he's gone the route that he has now, which makes me think he doesn't have as much leverage over the intelligence coming out from his agencies as much as I thought, but...
Yeah, and don't you, like... I don't know, man. You're the U.S. government. You don't know how to, like, doctor these files and still release them in a way that kind of gets you away with it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because, like, Wired came out and was like, hey, they said this was unedited and we can see the metadata. This was in video editing software.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so they could see people can see shit like that. But still, you're the
but
U.S.
as far
government,
as, like,
bro. Like, what are we
files-
doing here? There's no way.
Oh, sure.
you
I
could-
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a real quick way to get people to resign. You're asking people to, like, forge documents. That's how you get, like... That's how a bunch of U.S. attorneys always resign when someone comes into power they don't like, and they're like, oh, you have to fight on behalf of this, and, like, I resign. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. I just hope that if they do try and doctor shit, and I hope we see all of it. And I hope that if they do try and doctor shit, there's a whistleblower that just blows the whole thing up.
Yeah, there always seems to be someone, hopefully. Uh, and I just think that, like, it's the classic, like, most criminals are dumb. And, like, it applies to this administration where I don't think... The nice thing about the world is if you don't focus on being meticulous and covering your tracks and doing things correctly, and you're just focused on like defrauding people and just like being a scam artist, it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you.
Mm.
Now, you could be the most prolific one in the history of the world. Jesus, I don't know about that, but history of this country maybe. But still, it's gonna, yeah, it will catch up to you at some point.
Yeah, it will. Especially I think with this, because if you have somebody who's even like super pro MAGA and they're part of the admin and they get access to those files as
Yeah,
maybe they're
someone's
part of the
gonna-
team that has to sort of like edit it and manipulate it, somebody's going to blow the whistle because MAGA cares a lot about this, which all
And
credit.
again, they're just not meticulous with their work. They're not good. They leak. So
Yes, yeah. The Trump admin is notoriously just not smart about how they
they're
handle
just
these things.
just yeah.
It was reported that
that's
they had like
helpful.
1,000 FBI agents combing the files for mentions of Trump, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
there's 1,000 potential people right there that might say some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's- Unless you have some very like just locked in loyal people who everything you do is an ends to a means. I don't know how you don't have a leak, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, in this day and age, it feels like I don't understand how people don't know that unless it's spoken word. There's a record of you saying this or typing that or doing this, you know. So people get caught a lot more these days. Leaks can happen. I feel like I don't know. Maybe we're prisoners of the life, you know, of the time we're in, but I feel like it is pretty helpful. I just feel like, you know, most of this shit, the hardcore MAGA doesn't give a fuck. They're just lockstep, baby. Lockstep, Trump good. Even the Epstein thing. There's enough of, like, lockstep that's pretty crazy. So, we'll see.
We will see. I just went to the comment section of just a Ghislaine Maxwell video on the Fox News channel, and boy, oh boy, people are not happy. I never know if this is an accurate
Yeah, I don't...
pulse of MAGA, the Fox News comment section, but it's certainly not nothing.
Yeah, we gotta be careful not to extend internet brain to, like, the real world. True.
Correct,
But still, this is such a blow up that it's like it's a scandal that's lived in the internet that wasn't necessarily ascribed to Trump ever, and if it does come out to be ascribed to him and he was part of some criminal things, it's a scandal that actually might spread to reality, and then it would sink his political. Well, he doesn't even have another like election to run. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows?